The radio company is played by you. Minister Bala, witness you salute. Thank you, the Honourable Minister for Employment and Industrial Relations, and also the Minister for Youth and Sports, the Governor of the Reserve Bank of Fiji, the Chair of FRCS, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for coming this morning. We do not intend to have a very long, prolonged formal program, but just to highlight the importance of this initiative. As you know, with COVID-19, of course, literally tens of thousands of people's jobs have been affected. Some have become unemployed, of course, and others have had reduced hours. The Ministry of Employment, Ministry of Economy, and all the other respective ministries, including Commerce and Trade, have been working very diligently to actually, firstly, mitigate the adverse effect of the job losses, whether it has been giving people access to the general funds in the Provident Fund, and the government thereafter topping it up, and which we continuously are doing so. In fact, as we see, every week government is topping up more, because the amounts in the general accounts have actually been reducing, have been reduced. Apart from that, we have put in place this job support scheme, what we're saying, Stronger Together job support scheme, in which essentially government has undertaken to pay $2.68 an hour, which is the minimum wage, for any new position that's created by any of the employers that have actually been approved by Ministry of Economy and FRCS. The process is actually rather simple. You have to apply through the Ministry of Economy. The Ministry of Economy vets the application, and we work together with FRCS, as you've seen the agreement that we signed together with the Chair of FRCS. And by the way, FRCS has become not just a tax collector per se, but it's actually become a major agency through which we are rolling a number of these programs, including the medium, small enterprise concessional loans that we've rolled out, the micro, small and medium enterprise concessional loans, which is loans up from 7,000, 14,000 and 21,000 respectively. Now, so the relationship is then, of course, between the employer and the FRCS. FRCS, once the documentation is done, will pay 1 month's salary in advance to the employer for the number of positions that have been approved through the application process. And then, of course, thereafter it is paid every fortnight. Government has given an undertaking, it will pay the $2.68 an hour for the next 3 months. A number of employers have actually come forward. Some have done it as part of the corporate social responsibility. Others, of course, have come forward and said, look, we think it can create new positions, even though it may be only for 3 months, and some may indeed extend it for a longer period than that. This will actually help, ladies and gentlemen, utilize people who are unemployed. We are, of course, very concerned about all unemployed people. We are particularly also concerned about those people who are not part and parcel of the FNPF scheme. There are a number of people who are in the informal sector, who may be selling boiled EV or selling coconuts or vegetables or mithai or whatever it is by the roadside in specific places. They no longer have customers because people may no longer work there. And they also don't have FNPF to fall back upon because they are part of the informal sector. So we have a preference that the potential employers give them first preference if you can hire them. Of course, it won't always be the case. They may not necessarily have the right prerequisite skill sets, but that's our preference. And of course, anybody else that is unemployed. And we have said that those people who are currently receiving unemployment benefits, which is 220 a fortnight, they can come and work under this scheme, but of course they can't double dip. For the 3 months, if they hired for through this particular initiative, they'll get the salary being paid to them by the employer, and should that finish by 3 months, they can go back to the unemployment benefits. Indeed, should COVID-19 measures continue into that period. We have also said that those people who are recipients of micro, small, medium enterprise concession loans won't be eligible for this employment because they've already been assisted. Those people who are on social welfare benefits, should they get employed through this process, of course, they'll have to give that up because, again, you cannot double dip. We've had some very, very good responses. Most of you are here in this room. We know there's quite a few other people. I've just been talking to a few people, in fact, on the phone just before coming into this room, who are saying, look, we want to be part and parcel of this. Our HR department was not there on time, but it is open. Anybody else can of course apply. And we look forward to further participation of all employees. I'd like to thank all of you. Please tell others. Please don't hesitate to hire more people. There's a requirement. There are certain things that you may actually want done in your business, physically, that you perhaps was putting at the back of the burner, whether it's cleaning up your warehouse or painting the back part of the building, whatever the case may be. Given that government will be paying $268 an hour. As part of the scheme, for those who may not be aware, in particular for the media here, we will pay $268 an hour, but of course there may be certain positions where the minimum wage is more than that. So for example, if you're hiring somebody to work in your supermarket and who works at the checkout, the cash register, I should say, at the checkout counter, and the minimum wage I think is $3.15 an hour. If it's $3.50 an hour, then of course the employer will then have to pay the difference between $268 and $3.15. You of course have to pay FNPF for everybody. So in this way we can also get those people who currently don't even have an FNPF account, they'll all get FNPF being paid into a new account. They'll open a new account and we'll get contribution to the FNPF account. So I'd like to, I think it's only fitting that to announce the names of those who have actually come forward. We have in this particular session, we have Central Rentals that are recruiting 3 people. Denrau Village are recruiting 2. Apworth Pharmacy is recruiting 2. Fiji Coconut Millers Limited is recruiting 30. Fiji Rice Limited is recruiting 1. Hyperchem Pharmacy is recruiting 16. Instant Wealth Investment Limited is going to recruit 8 people. Hypercam Singatoka and Mega Pharmacy recruiting 6. The Beehive Resort 1. Nasese Pharmacy, Nasese Chemist, My Chemist and Northern Drugstore 5. New World Limited, which is the supermarket, is recruiting 160 people. Pharmacy Plus 2. Northland Farmers Cooperative Limited 2. Pact Leader Pacific Limited is recruiting 100 people. Please Global Limited 31. RCL Services Limited 17. Rupesh Gift Store 20. Gold Town Pharmacy and Guardian Angel Pharmacy 4. Sugarcane Growers Fund 1. Pacific Destinations 20. West Meats Limited 2. Medi Right Pharmacy and Suva City Pharmacy 5. Punjas Limited 30. Punjas and Sons Dairy Limited 5. Punjas Flour 5. Punja and Sons Limited 5. Punjas Biscuit Limited 14. Punjas Plastics 2. Punjas Rice 4. Ocean Soaps 10. Combined Manufacturers Limited 3. And Punja and Sons Oils 5. These are in excess of 500 people are being recruited in this first round. And of course, we are very grateful to all of you. As I said, please don't hesitate to recruit more people. We're willing to partner with you. And please go and tell others too. I mean, sometimes there are some people who may require only 2 people, for example, to do some filing in an office, or like I said, your bulk store, wherever else that you may need. And you'll be providing a lot of meaning and indeed dignity to a lot of unemployed people. It also makes them feel good because they're actually going to be working for something. They become part and parcel of the FNPF family. And of course, it may give you potential employees for the future, or employees for the future. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all once again. And we can of course have questions from the media later on. And I'd like to thank all of you. The Minister for Employment, of course, is very keen to work with all of you, and we'd like to thank you for this. And again, the National Employment Center is another organization that we look at partnering up with, and we look forward to further collaboration with you. Thank you.